boarding requested.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
Passengers boarding starting.
Departure checks completed. Bypass pin inserted.
What's going on, YouTube? Welcome. I apologize for the late start here on the Aviator 268 channel. We are doing up a stream for yesterday, making up for yesterday's stream, which is Turkey Day. So those of you who celebrated the Thanksgiving, we want to say happy belated Thanksgiving, if that's a thing. Even if it's not, well, happy Thanksgiving to all of you. We got something to be grateful for. We are sitting in Seattle this evening for our stream, and we are going to be taking the Alaska airline from Seattle to Portland. Very short flight, about 30 minutes in the air. Gate to gate is probably 40 something minutes, so it's going to be pretty short. We might just even do the return flight. If we're feeling very adventurous, we'll just do that. Welcome to the stream, guys. It is so good to have you here. We're gonna get on the way. As a matter of fact, we have it already on the way. To try and minimize the time, we have the airplane being set up right now, going with the passengers boarding and also the loading of the bags and so on. So that's getting itself on the way real quick. And we're going to jump back into the aircraft and get ourselves going out. I just need to go online, so let's just find Alaska 147 is outside. We connect to the network. The beep is the auto ATC, so we can get our spot code, which is 4674. So we can get that in and get ourselves ready. Cool. And we're good to go. All right, let's jump into the airplane. So we're already set up. IRSs are aligned and all of that, so we are good to go. Flight lag. I hope that doesn't affect the stream, and if it does, just let me know so we can try to see if we can fix that. Let's go back to our AFB and go to the menu and we initialize the flight. Let's get our performance sorted out. Go to weight and balance. Our flight today has 127 passengers on board. And we will click out. Our cargo today is in the forward. We have 2794. And in the aft we have 4191. We will set our payload, then our fuel today is going to be 9,000. Let's cap it out at 10,000 pounds. So we put 10K in here. Click set fuel. Complete. And we can double check that right here on the display. So 10K, 55, and our zero fuel weight. Let me get that system information up. Where would that be? Info? Oh. Weight and balance here. So we have our zero fuel weight is 131.1. For our PG, it is 22.6. Before I forget, I'm gonna stop the A cars. Cool. We are good to go with this. So we will see those passengers boarding now. Again, they're not showing seated, but at least they're coming in, and that's what I'm. All right, so let's go back into our FMC, go to route paid per minute, and we're going 15,000 for today. The cruise wind is 296 at 29. And awesomeness is 40, and our reserves today is right now. Thursday is 2.9. 2.9. We do have enough fuel to return to Seattle once we land, so we may not have to add any fuel if we wanted to return, but we'll see how that goes. Zero fuel weight today is 131.1. That gives us a zero gross weight of 141.1, and that is prospect there, 22.6. Our winds for our departure today, checking that out. Oh, and we have Seattle Tower, so we get to hear some ATC. Nice. I wonder if he's going to put up 8. Wind out of Seattle is 120 at 05, which it does favor the 16s. And yes, ATIS is now live, so we can listen to that. Haven't done ATIS in a long time, so let's check it out. 118 nothing. Good.
From 0 at 5. Visibility 10. Fuel 2000 broke. Fuel 2000 broke. Temperature hot. The Anticola International Airport ATIS information locale 215 refuel. Web 100 at 5. Visibility 10. Fuel 2000 broke. 2000 broke. Temperature high. Zoom 1. Altimeter 3030. ILS runway 1 big right. ILS runway 1 big left. Approach and use target runway 1 big left and 1 SIXT. Simultaneous approach is in use of the Angle Airport and Boeing field. Traffic below you on final. Notice into air mission. Arrivals advised that you have 2 runway meters. Contact ground control prior to push and start. Advise on initial contact. You'll have information hotel.
Cool. So we have information hotel. Information hotel is telling us that it is 16 left for departure, and the altimeter is 3030, and we have that set and cross check. So once you begin running that checklist, we'll be able to do that real quick. All right, let's go back to our EFB, copy from FMC, and change the winds 120 at 5 from our ATIS, and temperature is 5 Celsius, 30130.30. And we are going to use takeoff 1 today, flap 5. Air conditioning is on, anti-ice is not required, and we calculate that. And we use 50 as our flex temp. V speeds 135, 136, and 145. So we can go back to the index. Perf. Boarding is already complete. And we take off 1, and we'll do 45. 50 is what it is. 50. And it's flat 5. 135, 136. So we do 135, 136, and 145. All right. Now we can go upstairs and turn on the APU. So we did that incorrectly. Did that so incorrectly. Let's get the. We'll talk to him in a second. All right. So as I turn on the forward pump first, then turn on the APU. You can turn on the seatbelt sign since you already done fueling. And everything else is set. Good. Cool. All right. So while we're waiting on that to start up, let's go ahead and do our pre-flight checklist. Before starting flight check and exterior inspection is complete. Pre-flight procedure is complete. IRS modes have an display switches on auto, emergency lights on, arm, attachment signs on, window heat switches off, pressure level is set. And the presidential mode selector is auto. The remote control panel is set. Entirely 145. I believe the altitude is 10,000. Oxygen mask ready to interphone check. Altimeter speed 030 prospect flight and damage check. Warning annunciator flight check. Anti-skid lights not installed here. Landing gear down 3 green. PPWS prospect speed lever is down B10. And we can double check that. It's down B10. Thrust relievers are closed. And engine start levers are cut off. So our stabilizer trim cutout switch is normal. Fire warning system is checked. Radios and transponder, radar transponder is 6. It is 4674. 4674. And parking brake is set. Rudder lift aileron trim 3 and 0. Full stop for the others. Just all right. Let's run through our departure briefing. All right, we are here on the SeaTac Airport. We are at the North Satellite. This is Seattle, Washington, chart 20-9, 13724. Once we push out the gate, we're actually at November 13, so we'll push back and we'll be facing towards the south. We taxi via Bravo all the way to Charlie in 169. Our departure today is more than likely going to be the Seattle 8. Seattle number 1 way 16 left, and this is chart 10 person 20-3 Foxtrot, effective 19 May 2022. And we'll climb on heading 165 and on the Seattle Radeon outbound 161. And our top altitude will be assigned by ATC. So once we contact ATC just now, we will get that information as to what our climb altitude will be. There aren't any threats currently on the charts, so we will just climb as normal and then join the next waypoint that we need, which is Alzo. That should bring us onto the Crater 2 arrival, which is right here. Yep, so that will be our first waypoint. Pretty short, as I said. So once we get airborne, we'll then prep the arrival, since we don't have center online, so we should be able to do that. All right, for our ATIS, we got the weather, and it is information hotel. So once we call up the controller, we'll definitely let him know that we have information hotel, which is the active one right now. Wind is 120 at 5, based on what the distance is. Recently, let's double check. And yes, the winds are now 100 at 5, and the altimeter is 3030, and the wet temperature is 05, 3.01, and our departure today is 16. For the takeoff, at or below V1, we will close the thrust and come to a complete stop. Assess the situation, then advise ATC. If we need to, we'll come off via the nearest taxiway. That might very well be Mike, November, or Papa, and we'll be able to exit, and if possible, we can come back around for a second departure, or not, we'll return to the gate. At above V1, we will climb 3,000 feet. We'll assess the situation, clip the aircraft, assess the situation. If we need to, we make a right downwind. So we will prep the ILS 1016 right, which is the arrival for coming back to Seattle. Other than that, there are no other issues, and we have a good plane in right now. Nothing in the MEL, so we should be good to go. If there are any questions, the departure briefing is complete. We completed the checklist, so we have departure briefing is completed. Logbook is checked. Fuel on board is 10,000 pounds on board. One last thing we need to do now is to go on to APU. We can check that. Get the APU bleed on. Look here in the back, and go to the legs page, route data request. While that is requesting, let's go back to our ATC and request our clearance. So let's do that. SeaTac traffic, good correction. SeaTac tower, good evening. Alaska 147 stand November 13 with information hotel, requesting clearance to Portland. To Portland via the Seattle 8, 7,000 initial. I expect 150 after 5 from Seattle VR. And squawking 4674, Alaska 147. Will Conda push 16 left for departure 147. All right, cool. So we have that now, and boarding is already complete, so we can close that. Go back to our EFP and release the ground system, which is the electric. Well, let's make sure we don't want to have an issue here. Good. So we're on APU, so we can now release the electric and the air conditioning. Set that, and we're going to release the left gear and the right gear, and we can now do the before start checklist. Let's run through those flows real quick. Close that door is already closed. Load things. And before I go further, we can put in this piano shield, which is 16. Let's five thing. So we have 161 on the radio and 5 miles on that. So we should get our climb to our altitude once we pass that. Good. Alright. So now we can continue our flow. Take off the start on 4. So before I check the doors, are closed, another panel is set, the other panel is set. Tight the door closed and lock. And the collision lights are on, the collision panel is set, and is on. Let's call for push. We'll have air traffic to GSX handle those right there. And we're going to call for push. CSAT craft, CSAT power. That's the 147 ready to push and start. Push the green line. Is that tail east? Alright, so he wants us to push to the green line, which is this right here. I don't know what GSX is going to do, so let's see what happens. GSX has a mind of its own, so you see a tower. I'm not sure how GSX is going to do this. We're trying to do a nose left here, which I guess the tail right towards the east in a sense. Roger.
Release parking brakes, please.
Right. See how this is gonna go. GSX really has a way of doing things itself. So let's release the brake. Parking brakes are released.
All engines clear. Start at will.
Roger, will start. Sequence is 2 and then 1. All right, so this is something new that we did. We didn't do this last time when we were flying, especially on the stream. I hadn't done it with all the other flights here on the sim. Is that when starting the MAX, there's a message that comes up here on the N2, and I thought that you're supposed to just flip the switch there. No, actually, once you do that, let's check it out. So let's turn off the packs and let's start engine number 2. N2 is rising. So it says motoring. We're supposed to wait until this extinguish, this disappears, and then we introduce the fuel. So it's a little bit different to the NGs, where the NGs will go up to 25. Essentially, it's the same 25, but we're supposed to wait till that disappears and then introduce the fuel. That's what's supposed to happen. Seen it stuck there. So, okay, cool. There we go. So introduce the fuel. Ah, that's what he meant. Okay, great. So GSX is doing what it's supposed to do. Perfect.
Please set parking brake.
I guess GSX actually knows what it's supposed to do. Parking brake is set.
Unlocking gear.
Start a cutout. Start engine number 1. We're just saying that GSX knows what it's supposed to do, so we're good to go. We'll call each other up shortly. Roger, Robert Charlie down. 160. Here we go. So we're waiting for that to disappear, and then we will introduce the fuel. One of the things that they also said about the aircraft is that it takes a longer time to start up.
Truck
So
disconnected.
look out for that.
Bypass
It's
pin
not supposed to start like the NG. So if it does
Left
that,
is clear. Right is
it's
clear.
supposed to. Start our cutout. All right, let's do our after start close. Let's do our flight control check. Rudder left, rudder right, yoke left, right, fully back, fully forward, and let's get some flaps in. Alright, after start, generators are on, Pro P is on, anti-ice not required, air condition panel is set, brakes RTO. After start check is complete, taxi checklist, 5 green light, flight controls are checked, and the taxi checklist is complete. Alright, so we turn on our lights, turn off the APU, start switches continuous, and I forgot the wow, I'm gonna get docked for that one. The didn't have on the beacon. That's crazy. Alright, parking brakes released. Let's get out of here. Airport map. Let's zoom in so we make a right on the at least it's happening real life all the time. Yep. Can't believe I forgot that one. Checklist is right there, right? Alright, so our taxi is gonna be a right onto Bravo and then the So we go straight out to Whiskey, to Bravo, and then to Charlie. There we go. And Tower just confirmed that Alaska 147 is clear to taxi. Roger, Bravo, Charlie 147. Another thing that I learned as well, when you're taxied, if you're not clear of something, you need to ask, okay? So let's arm our VNAV and LNAV, and we are good to go. Aircraft is supposed to be more efficient, therefore we didn't need to push too much in our thrust to get us moving. And so we are already going at 10 knots. We make a right here onto Bravo as we taxi down. V-run, taxiway for runway 16 left. Just to verify what our departure is, because it's going to be a little quick taxi. Departure is on a heading 165, I think it is. Let's double check that. Seattle is 161. 161. Time on heading 165 and on the radio 161 from Seattle. Then we come up to 150, because it's over 18,000 as yet. So we're still going to be at 15,000 feet for our cruise today. And of course, as we indicated on departure brief, anything below V1 will come to a stop, close thrust, and we will advise ATC once we've assessed the situation. Exit off the runway via one of the closest taxiways. If not, anything above V1, we will climb, continue to the takeoff, climb, level at 3,000, assess the situation. If anything, we have to make a right downwind, we are below our landing weight. So we will make a right base, right downwind, right base runway 16 right, and we have that chart available should we need to use it. All right, so that is set. So we are ready to go. We will do the before takeoff checklist. The altitude is 5.54. That is 7.55 green light. Windows closed and locked. Auto throttle is arm. Recall is checked. Runway is 16 left. Departure fix is the Seattle 301. And departure is the Seattle 8. Takeoff route is completed, and we will take the cabin. Second 147, you broke up the last time. Okay, takeoff 16 left to Alaska 147. Cool. So final items, radar and transponder are engine transfers are continuous. Exterior lights are coming on, and we have before takeoff checks is complete.
On runway 16 left.
All right, are we ready to go? Let's do this. Advance throttle to 50%. Pressure on the throttle, on the stick. Yoke in this case. 50% toga. First is to set 78.7. Airspeed alive. 80 knots. Check. Rotate. Positive rate of climb. You're up. LNAV. Over the unit, come down to 0. All right, heading 165 is what we're doing, and then once we get everyone, we're supposed to make it 161 from the Seattle VOR. Passing 2,000 feet, climb 2 set, all the flight directors, and then we'll clean up on schedule. 2.80. Laps 1, speed check. Laps 1. And we're gonna take command A, and we will collapse up. And now we're on the heading of 161, which is what we will be doing for the initial part of the flight. And then we go direct to Buzu, climbing now to 150, 15,000 feet. And we have the breakout of the clouds looking real nice. There we go. And let's go to our legs page and go direct to Pauzo, execute, and we'll let our nav do the rest. Ladies and gentlemen, we are airborne. We can do our after takeoff checklist now. After the flaps up, no light, landing gear up, and it's not off. We don't have off in the MAX. Anti-ice not required for mid leads, and the packs are on. Auto pressurizing repair is checked, and the engine subspace are continuous until we cross 10,000 feet. And APU is off. Auto takeoff checklist is complete. Look at the outside, going through these clouds real quick, and this is the Alaska, honoring those we serve. If you haven't noticed, when it comes to me and my streams, usually I try to find one of the more fascinating liveries. So I prefer the special liveries. Ever so often I will put that regular livery on. Passing 10,000 feet, our lights can come off, specialties can go off, and our wing lights coming off. And we will ding the cabin, let them know we are past 10,000 feet. And like I said, it's going to be a very quick cruise to 15,000, and then we come right back down. So here's where we are, and our top of time is just below the first waypoint, and just as we get to the next waypoint is where top of descent is going to be. So we're going to do our approach briefing very shortly and get our aircraft set up for that arrival into Portland. And there is Mount St. Helens, if I'm not mistaken, and there's another one just at the back of it right there. So these are some volcanoes that you would see coming out of the Seattle area. If you're ever in the Seattle area, you will see that, hey, what's going on, Crab Flight? Welcome to the stream, buddy. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. All right, so we're coming up to 13,000 feet, and we top out at 15,000. And we still don't have any air traffic control online as of right now, so we are going to be managing things on our own, which is not a problem. We are accustomed to doing that. 13.5 for 14, and then to 15,000. Once we cross 14.1, we will hear that horn to let us know we are just about there at 15,000 feet. There it goes. And so we don't have a time. The time checklist is not going to exist here for us because we won't get to that standard setting for the altimeter. So we'll skip that for now. All right, so we're leveled at 15,000 feet. Should I turn off the seatbelt sign? Nah, it's a quick fact. We're going to even get it. We'll be all right. All right, so let's look at our arrival. The arrival is going to be the Crater 2 into Portland, and this is chart 10-2 Bravo, effective 31 October 2020. Well, it doesn't say a year, but we'll assume it's just 2024. There we go. There it is. All right, so we're coming into the Bozo on heading 164 down to Helens. We'll make a right turn to Crater. Let's back that up, do it correctly. We will come southbound to the Helens cross at above 11,000. Then make a right turn 185 to Crater between 10,000 and 13,000, and then hike between 7,000 and 9,000, and then we are using the ILS runway 10 left. So we make a right turn to Voodoo. We're not going to do any Voodoo at all. Then to Doe, then to Nut, and then we make a left to Buxton to join the localizer for runway 10 left. For the ILS runway 10 left, this is the arrival. We take note of the MSA 6,000 between 6,200 from the east and south, and then on the north and the western sides here it's 3,500. So we will come in from Buxton, which is the initial fix, and we'll join the localizer for runway 10 left, heading 103, final approach course to Trail, Blazer, Jalag, and then 10 left. Our decision height is 293, so we put that in shortly. Our ILS is India Victor Delta Golf 111.3, and our final course of 105. For missed approach, should we have to do such, coming out on the ILS, we will catch the glide slope by Blazer. If we do not get that by the marker, we will execute a missed approach, climb the 800, then climb the left turn to 4,200 onto the Battleground VOR, radio 160. Inbound to Battleground VOR and hold, continue climbing and hold 4,200, or as directed by ATC. Of course, once we do missed approach, we will make a left downwind to come back around and reattempt the approach. All right, if there aren't any questions about that, then we should go on to the airport. Once we land on runway 10 left, we will hope to exit via Alpha 3, then Alpha 3 will roll out to Alpha 2, make a right, come back to Alpha, then onto Tango, all the way around on the southern side of the airport to our gate at our terminal. Cool. Weather in Portland is the real world using information Victor, landing 10 left or 10 right. Winds calm, 10 statute miles, visibility, overcast 2,400, and the temperature 06, altimeter 3032. ILS runway 10 left is in use. Simultaneous ILS approach 10 right in use. Cat 2 and 3 approaches available. Construction grades are lowered. Warning, runway 3 shortened. First 3,000 feet available for arrivals only, and the rest of that is not necessary for us at the moment. Cool. So, based on our chart, let us get some information ready for the fix page. We're going to remove this fix, and we're going to put in the India Victor Delta Golf, and that is going to be for the ILS, and our radio is 103, and we want to have initially 15, and our second one at the Blazer, which is where we will get the glide slope, and we put it at 7, so we're fully configured by 7. So that ring that we have, the 7 ring, will be where we are at our configure for landing, so we should be full flaps, landing gears and all that. So that's the reason why I have those 2 radios, rings rather, not radio, 2 rings around the airfield using the fix for the ILS, or the identifier. Cool. And let's check our performance. show landing en route, and we copy from FMC. Condition is dry. 6 Charlie 30, not 38, 30.32. If I could type. Brakes all, the reverse all operational, flaps 30, air condition on, anti-ice is off, brakes level 1, non-normal is none, complete, and calculate. So we have 9,825 feet available, and we'll require 8,299. We'll say the brakes and we do auto brake 1. And so we will set that now. Auto brake is 1, and our landing flaps is 145. 140 VRAM plus 5, and we have our VOR is 111.30, and we will set that there, and we will change our course to 103, and that is set. Then our decision height is going to be 293, so we will set that here. 293, and as soon as I'm finished doing that, we are set for our descent, which is why we're getting that caution light. So we'll set that down to 6,000. Is that the last one? Let's check the chart again. 5,000 at Voodoo. So let's go all the way to 5,000. Passenger signs are already on, so we're good to go. We will let them know, ladies and gentlemen, this is the captain speaking from the flight deck. We're just about to top of descent into Portland. Weather down in Portland is, winds are pretty calm. Visibility is 10 miles, and we have some overcast skies at about 2,000 feet, so we're breaking all the clouds about 2,500 feet. Temperature is pretty cold still, 6 degrees, and a pretty nice day to fly into Portland, so we just ask that you sit back, relax, and enjoy the landing. Of course, you have options when you're flying. We thank you for choosing Alaska Airlines. I attempt to prepare the aircraft for a ride. Good. That is all set. Portland traffic, Alaska 147, descending out of 1,500 for 5,000 at Voodoo, for the Alice 10 at Portland traffic. So for those with the wing view, these people and their etiquette with, oh, this is a nice picture right here. See, this is what happens when you have all these short flights. You miss all these views. Look at that. Look at that. That is a, whoo, whoo. That's beautiful. That is beautiful, guys. And I think that's a nice picture there too. Yes, sir. I just love how iFly would have gotten the physics with this wing flex. I feel like I'm actually flying. I really do. It feels that real. On the right side. So the iFly comes with some dynamic window shades. So it could be that these passengers are just not clean. Other persons would have some issues with that. I know one person in particular would have an issue with window etiquette. Come on, we're trying to see outside. That's why the windows are there. You don't close the window shades, man. Cool. All right, let's leave them in their window shades. All right, cool. So we're descending, and we're going to have the aircraft out shortly with some speed brakes. Just passing crater. We should pass crater between 13 and 10,000 feet. So we are doing just that, and we will cross between, okay, we need to help this aircraft slow down just a bit. So we'll slow it down. Get some speed brakes out. So for those who've never flown before and you're watching, you would see these things on the wings. These are called speed brake, and these help to slow the aircraft down in flight. You sometimes will feel a vibration when those speed brakes are out. That's just all normal, just to help the aircraft to slow down. So we're trying to get it down to 250 knots because we should not be above that going below 10,000 feet. So let's make sure that we get that out. Our descent checklist, almost forgot that part. Descent checklist altimeters is 3032, and that is cross-check. Radios and barrel outbugs are set and cross-checked. We have a tooth banner 3, and we have a VRAM from 145. Anti-ice not required. A push briefing is complete. Auto brakes level 1 is selected. Passenger signs are on. Pressurization plan is set. Exterior lights are set, and recall is checked. Descent checklist is complete. All right, so we are now below 10,000 feet. Exterior lights will go on, and start switch is continuous. And we're there at 240 FMS speed. Retard, right? Making that right turn now towards Voodoo. We should cross Voodoo at 5,000. Based on the, we're now 20 miles from our ILS landing, 29 miles to the runway, and so we're coming out pretty nicely. And if you look at that, check out elapsed time, only 16 minutes. We'll be on the ground in no time, guys. Pretty short flight, nice and sweet. I'm really wondering if I should go back to Seattle from here. I think I very well might. Pretty short flight. The iFly MAX 8. Alright, decelerating now down to 210, so we will extend the speed brakes once more so we can get our aircraft to slow down. And one of the things we have to do is stay on point, stay on top of the airplane. So if we have to manage our speed, we'll ensure that we are below. This ring that I have, the first ring should be at 180, but since we're going to make a right downwind outbound, we will continue the speed as it is in the FMC, and then go to manage speed, speed intervention rather, when we made that right downwind. So once we cross nut, we will do speed intervention and maintain 180, then make a left inbound, descend on the 3000 so we can get the localizer for only 16 left. We can store the speed brakes now. We are at 214. Portland traffic, Alaska 147 is just over the Voodoo intersection. We'll make right downwind for runway 10 left. We'll call left base for the localizer runway 10 left, Portland traffic. Alright, back into the clouds now, and we should exit the clouds about 2,400 feet, as the AD sort of told us that there is an overcast up to 2,400. So we'll be in the soup, as they will call it. We'll do speed intervene on 210, and we'll give us a flap 1 to check, flap 1, and we continue our descent to 3,000. We'll run the approach checklist once we cross the nut intersection. And let's do level change. Plane table by Malik Clark, sub in. Appreciate the sub, Malik. Appreciate the sub, bro. All right, so our glide slope is moving, and that is great because we want to be below the glide, and so that is perfect. All right, speed of the beam, we will slow now to 180 and allow the aircraft to reduce its rate of descent, and we will keep a heading of 278. And we will do speed check flaps 2. So we're at that 15-mile radius now, so we'll make a left base for runway 10 left. So we'll do 180. Speed check for laps 5. And we'll maintain 180 until the localizer is captured. So let's arm the localizer. And we're seeing, look at that. This is lovely. I hate when I do that. When you accidentally press the reset button. Alright, we will put the final waypoint in, which is the Buxom. Although we're in the heading mode, we just have that there so it can track correctly. So we're 3 miles from Buxom. Especially if ATC was on board, it would said maintain 3,000 established. It will tell you you're so many track miles from a particular waypoint, maintain 3,000 and so on and so on. So we just keep that there active. All right, so flap 5 is set, and we can reduce our speed now to the flap 5 and then go flap 10, speed check. And we're seeing the lights. We can now arm the approach, and let's do the approach check. We have flight navigation is no check. Time switch is cycle. Activators is 3023 and cross check. Approach checklist is complete. Portland traffic, Alaska 147 is 2 miles from 10 left. We'll call 5 mile final runway 10 left. Portland traffic. All right, at 10 miles, we will drop the gears and go flaps full. Of course, reducing the speed. As we said, Blazers where we should get big glide slope, so we would see that starting to move closer as we get to Blazer. Once we get below 2,400, we should have clearer vision, since that is where the overcast feeling is. All right, 10 miles, so we will drop our gear. Gear down 3 green, flaps 15, and reduce our speed to the approach speed 145. And this airplane drops airspeed like crazy, flaps 25, speed check. Glide slope is alive, and and flap 30. And 30 green light. Let's arm the speed brake and we do the landing checklist. Landing gear down, free green, flap 30, 30 and green light. Speed brake is armed, green light. And any accessories are continuous. Exterior legs are as required and glide slope is captured. Landing checklist is complete. Let's do this. At 500 feet, I will call my airplane, disconnect the autopilot, and we will land this bad boy. Altitude, ground altitude is 4,200, passing 2,600. We are coming out of that little soupy area, and there's where we are. Looking pretty good. That is lovely. Nice picture right there. And let's see how this goes. Getting that passenger view, wing view on both sides. Last look on the outside before we land. Looks pretty high, doesn't it? I mean, we're still at 2,000 feet, so yeah, kind of high, but all right. That 3-degree glide slope, 750 meters per second. Portland traffic, that's the 147, 3 mile final, runway 10 left, Portland. Should have called it at 5, but busy dealing with the airplane, so we got that. Wonder why there wasn't a 1,000-foot call. I gotta check that.
Approaching 10 left.
So the ROS is working. You have to check to make sure that I have those altitudes calls set. All right, 500 feet. It is my airplane. And of course, small corrections.
Approaching minimums.
Yep.
Minimums.
Continue.
Glide slope. Glide slope. Glide slope.
And here we go. Speed brakes up. Two in reverse. The reverse is green finally. And descent. Knots. 72 knots and
remaining.
Manual braking. And we make that right off of the runway onto taxiway Alpha 2, then Alpha. And we clean the aircraft up. We'll see what our landing rate is just now. Flaps coming up. Landing lights coming off. Roll coming off. We forgot to put the strobes on too. That is crazy. So strobes coming off and ow. Please don't tell the company, right? We take the weather off and we start our APU. Portland traffic, Alaska 147 is cleared on runway 10 left, taxi to the gate via Tango. Portland traffic. Yeah, so according to Malik, that happens in real life too. So we won't kill ourselves too much for that. Won't kill ourselves too much for that. The APU is coming on, and we're gonna be taxiing. Our taxiway is gonna be taxi gate is on the other side of the terminal. It would have been shorter if we did 10 right, but hey, we want to get on the ground too. So 10 left it was. And we're taxiing pretty quickly. Again, these engines are much larger, so they produce a bit more forward thrust. So we're speeding down, which will get us across there. We make a left onto Tango on the other side to the gate. We'll call the gate. It is, what our arrival gate is, Charlie. Gate is. I think it's a Charlie gate. Charlie 8, there we go. But there's no Charlie 8 here. Cool. Let's see what the next one is. We'll do Charlie 11. We'll do Charlie 11. Trying to slow this plane down as we taxi over. I wonder if that's an AI plane or that's actually someone that's coming on there. That might be an AI aircraft. It looks AI-ish. Static, that is. So some news, guys. Next week Friday this time, or maybe a little bit earlier, the 777-200 Foxtrot, the LR version, but it's the LRF, so the 200 LRF for PNBG will go live, and that is going to unlock some routes for us, because we would not be necessarily going to these gates that are for passenger departures or passenger boarding and offloading. Please don't tell me somebody's at my gate. I'm gonna get annoyed. You know what? Let's do this. We're gonna change that gate to, what is this, Charlie 21. So let's look at Charlie 21 here. Charlie 19. Let's go to Charlie 19. Change facilities. Charlie 15. Try that, yes. Alright, there we go. Ali says, love that. So I can part this. Yes, definitely. We need the 777 to be out. And I'm so glad. You know, every disappointment is a blessing. Every disappointment is a blessing, because remember, initially when they were writing it, they were waiting for it to probably be only for the 2024. But because of the teething issues, we're able to get it for 2020. So I am ecstatic for that. So we can get our the 777 Foxtrot for our flights. So we're gonna be doing some nice cargo flights, some short ones, some long ones. You know, just enjoying the aircraft. Do I have on? Nope, we're good. So we won't blind anybody. And kind of over to. There's nobody here to see us doing the dancing. Oh well, it'll be all right. Yeah, so that's going to be something that we get to do next week. And others, you know, Christmas is going to be interesting, where we have all of these flights going on. We have the A380, we have the Airbus for Phoenix, we have all the 319 to the 321s. So, you know, those are awesome. Hold on, let's look outside for a second. Yeah. All right, we can keep going. So we're pretty much set for Christmas, where we have all these different airliners that are available for us, and it's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome. This looks like I'm going to end up in the, you know what, we're going to stay right here because I don't want it to say that our jet bitch can't reach the gate. So parking brake is set. Good. APU gen on, and we can then turn off the auto switches, and we can do our checklist. After landing should have been done, which would have been the exterior lights are set, engine transmission is off, flaps up, key brake down, lieutenant radar is on, transponder is as required. Shutdown checkers, passenger signs are off. Electrical is on the APU for now. The transponder is set to standby. And the collision lights will come off at now. And probe heats and window heats all can come off. And we have the engine bleed on. And our air conditioning panel is set, APU is on, auto brakes are off. And our parking brake is set. Let's now set our chalk, and we can request. I want to see GSX does something crazy. Let's request deboarding. Let's see. Okay, all right. Let's see if anything crazy happens here where it tells us it can't reach. Perfect. That's what we like to see. Fantastic. All right, so guys, here we are. We are at the gate here in Portland. If you guys want to see us go back, you can tap in the chat. Let's fly back. If not, we can end it here tonight. It was a really nice short flight. Currently, let's see how long that flight was from gate to gate. That flight was the jet bridge is cold in terms of what? Flight was 30 minutes, 46 minutes block time. So yeah, pretty nice. And our landing was 306. So it was a pretty firm one, 306. But hey, any landing that you can walk away from is a beautiful landing, isn't it? Yep. So that is quite fine. We are, I don't know what to tell you, Malik. We're gonna have to cuss the people them there and let them know they need to warm up this stuff. But then again, it was just sitting there. So I hope you have a jacket, right? Oh my goodness. It is cold up in the Northwest, man. And it's ridiculous. I don't know. If I had to do it, I'll do it. But yeah, I'll stay here in the Caribbean. That's fine. So yes, we have it, guys. That is where we are. Let's call for the electrical outside. So we have that now attached. So we can, in KDN, they say that's where it's really cold. Yeah, that's another cool place too. All right, so we can turn off our APU, and we can also bring the air conditioning on as well, and that will be on the other side. So there we go, guys. It was a nice flight. I'm still trying to decide if I want to go back. I'm still trying to decide. It's a tough decision. It is a tough decision. What do you guys say? You tell me. Should we go back or should we stay here? Got -604 landing in the 737 yesterday. I would not have wanted to be on that plane. As a matter of fact, I remember flying to Atlanta from Miami some years ago on an A319, I think it was, and it was midnight. And the pilot put the plane on the ground. I'm pretty sure it was a -604, something like that. But I don't know. But hey, anything you can actually walk away from, it's a good landing. It's a good landing. Pretty sure you didn't have to take the aircraft out for maintenance, did you? And that sound was the APU going to sleep, since the aircraft is now on let's go hike up the Olympic. Okay, so I guess we'll stay here for tonight. No problem. All right, guys, so it was fantastic being with you for this short flight from Portland to shut her down. Yeah, we're gonna do just that. We did a short flight from Seattle to Portland, Oregon, 48 minutes gate to gate. And I really enjoyed the flight with you guys being here. Thank you so much for joining the flight. Of course, if you haven't already done so, please consider leaving a like or subscribing. And subscribing really would help the channel if you would subscribe as well. And if you have any comments, feel free to put them in the comments as well. You can suggest flights that you want us to do on the channel. We'd be more than happy to do so. Like I said, next week Friday is the release of the PMDG's 777-200 Lima Foxtrot, which is the freighter version of the 777, and that is long awaited on the simulator 2020. So we will have something else new to bring to the channel. Of course, we have so many others right now. We have the A380, we have the 737 MAX 8 that we've been flying around for the last few streams. We may jump back into the Airbus before the 777 comes out next week. So hopefully either Sunday or Tuesday next week, we can definitely get in another stream for before the 777 comes out. Until next time, my guys, you take care of yourself. Of course, always, please do take care of yourself. Stay safe. Until next time, have a good one.